one of the largest collection of Vaishnava songs ever to be published. Others have published as well, like Narottama Das Thakur also has compiled a large number of collections. So Bhaktivinoda has not only collected, written songs, but he didn't write them just randomly. He organized them in a very structured way. For instance, early morning, there's a lot of chanting, right? Mangalarti, early morning. So he uses the morning raga specifically, and also something suitable for early morning. Like this wonderful song, Udilo Aruna. This song is sung in a way that glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he rises early morning to do what? To give up love of Godhead in every town and village. Every day he does that. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur is meditating and compiled this beautiful song. So this song actually goes very well with our book distribution. That's exactly what we do. Why do we do that? We're just replicating what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing. Rising early morning and distributing love of Godhead throughout. So it's a beautifully compiled song. Can you imagine it was compiled 132 years ago, in 1893. I always wonder whether I put my reading glass on my head or in my pockets. I never realized. Actually, without that, I'll be lost, I would say. So Bhaktivinoda compiled the songs in 1893, over 131 years ago. How lucky we are to have great Acharya Gaya personality like Bhaktivinoda to compile that. So the way you organize this is, the first one is called the Arundaya Kirtana, which is a morning kirtan. This is one of them, and then there are quite a few others as well. And then after the morning kirtan, he also compiled the midday, during the bhog offering. And during the Prasadam Sevaya, it's called the Prasadam Sevaya compilation. He compiled the beautiful songs for that. And then he has also different songs for different artists. We have numerous artists throughout the day, just like here we have around 6 artists every day. So there are different kirtans for those artists as well. And then there is Naga Sankirtan, when devotees go out and do kirtan in a congregated way. For that, he's compiled different kind of songs as well. And then he's compiled songs to glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Beautiful songs, philosophically very deep. When you actually meditate on every word, it has so much deep meaning. He compiled that. Like that, he's got about 15 sections, 15 different sections of songs. And the 15th one is the commentary he's given on Prema Dwani prayer towards the end. And also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has compiled the Shikshastaka. So he's written a song, giving a purport about those verses as well. So we're very lucky to be under the lineage of this wonderful personality, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I was thinking of singing this song. He had about 3 or 4 powerful points, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to sing the song. One of them is obviously Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Lord Gauranga is going in every town and village to wake everyone up, because every time the sun rises and sets, it's taking our life away. So he's saying, why are you spending your time uselessly? At night sleeping, and during the day decorating your body, fulfilling the demands of your body. Wake up and, chant the holy name, So that way he's actually traveling in every town and village, giving that love of Godhead. So what we can do is we can sing a song. It should be easy because we use the morning raga, like Samsara Dava. Don't know if I'm positioned in the right way. Udilo Haruna Prabhabaje Dvijamani Gaura Amani Jage Udilo Raruna Purabhavaja Bhakata Samuha Loilo Sate Gela Nagar Raje Bhakata Samuha Tatai Tatai Bhajarakho Gana Gana Tahe Jajiralo Tatai Tatai Bhajarakho Gana Gana Primedala Dala Sonaranga Charane Nupura Baje Premidala Dala Sonara Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bori Mukunda Madhava Nadava Mari Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bolena Bolore Vadana Bori Mukunda Madhava Nadava Nago Micheni de Bashe Gelore Rati Divasha Sharira Saje Micheni da Base Gelore Rati Sajarina Imana Dulava Manavadeho Paya ki koro bhavana ke ho imana mulava mana Ibinaba jibe yasoda sutta charane poribe lage Ibinabani Udita tapana hoile asta dinagelo bole hoi bayasta udita tapana hoile dasta tabe keno hibi alasta ho nabaja hedoya Saje tabe keno ebe alasta nabaja doya Jivana anitya jana sa tahena na vida vibhada bha Jivana anitya Namashaya Kuri Jatana Tumi Takara Apana Kaje Namastana Kuni Nodana Dyumui Tarapana Jivira Kalyana Sadana Kam Jagate Astiye Madhurana Naraka Jagate Astiye Madhura Avidyati Mira Tapana Rupe Heda Gangane Miraje vidyati mina. Krishna namo Sudha Koriya Pak Juraso Bhakati Vinoda Pran Krishna nama Sudha Koriya Pran Nama bina kichu naiko aro Shoda bhuvana maje Udilo aruna pura babaje Dvijamane gora amane jage Udilo aruna pura babage Dvijamane gora amane gage aruna Makata samuha noila sate gela nagara raje Makata samuha noila sate gela nagara Makata samuha noila sate gela nagara raje Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gokulananda, Radhe, Jayo Radha, Jayo Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Sitaram Lakshman Sitaram. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Haribo Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnu Prabhupada Sarvamacharya Shashata Shishimadhi Savangri Sisi Bhaktan Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki, Nama Charja Shri Haridas Thakur Ki, Musako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki, Shri Mathura Dham Ki, Shri Dholka Dham Ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki, Shri Dham Mayapur Ki, Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ram. Sorry about it. I always sweat every time I sing. In the middle of winter. Autumn? Okay, autumn. From tomorrow. Okay. So we can start glorifying this beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Not Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. CC. So Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. So today we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 12, text 136. So maybe we can say the word and then we can, recite the shloka. Nrsimha Mandira Bhitara Bahira Shodhila Shanika Vishrama Kori Nitya Arambhila Nasimha Mandira Bhitara Bahira Shodhila Shaneka Vishrama Kari Nitya Arambhila Nasimha Mandira Bhitara Bahira Shodhila Shaneka Vishrama Kari Nitya Arambhila Nasimha Mandira Bhitara Bahira Shodhila Shaneka Vishrama Kari Nitya Arambhila. Anyone can try? Deepak. Amongst the ladies. Narasimha Mandira. Thank you so much. Actually, I was meant to read translation for that beautiful song. I'll just quickly read it. It's such a wonderful song. When the rising sun appeared in the east, the jewel of the twice-born Lord Gaurasundara awakened, and taking his devotees with him, he went all over the countryside, towns and villages. The mridangas resounded, tatai, tatai, and the jhana, large metal kartals that looked like small cymbals, and the kirtan played in time. Lord Gauranga's golden form slightly trembled in ecstasy, love of Godhead, and his footbell jingled. All the devotees chanted the names of Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, and Hari, and their mouth being filled with the vibrations, they would announce to the still sleeping people, "You spend your nights uselessly sleeping and days decorating your bodies. You have achieved such a rare human body, but you do not care for the gift. You remain not serving the darling of Yashoda and slowly fall through your last moments of death. With every rising and setting of the sun, a day passes and is lost. Then why do you remain idle and not serve the Lord of the heart? This temporary life is full of various miseries. Take shelter of the holy name as your only business. To penetrate the darkness of ignorance and bless everyone's heart, the holy name has risen like the shining sun. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name of Krishna. There is nothing but the name to be had in the 14 worlds. It has filled the soul of Shri Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki jai. Going back to the verse, Nishima Mandira Bhaitira Bhaira Shodila Shaneka Vishramakari Natya Shambhila. Maybe you could do word to word. Nrsimha Mandira, the temple of Nrsimhadev. Bhitara, inside. Bahira, outside. Shodhila, cleansed. Shanika, for a few moments. Vishrama, rest. Kori, after taking. Nritya, dancing. Arambhila, began. Translation given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cleansed the Nrsimha temple, inside and outside. Finally, he rested a few minutes and then began dancing. You may repeat after me. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cleansed the Nrsimha temple, inside and outside. Finally, he rested a few minutes and then began dancing. Purport again by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Nrsimha temple is a nice temple just outside of the Gundicha temple. And this temple, there is a great festival on the day of Nrsimha Chaturdashi. There is also a Nrsimha temple at Navadvip, where the same festival is observed as described by Murari Gupta in his book Chaitanya Charita. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Danatisma Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatham Vidham Tham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaritam Prajana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Ratamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhuvyavicha Patitanam Bhavanivyo Vaishnavivyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. You may have noticed that the verse doesn't have continuity from last week, but that was done deliberately. Last week, Keshava Maharaj has given a wonderful class on Chaitanya Charitamrita from Adi Leela, chapter 9, text 46, you may recall last week. That was specifically done for the launch of Srila Prabhupada book distribution. That verse was specifically selected by Maharaj. Beautiful verse, very appropriate verse. And you may recall that Maharaj has given so many wonderful points. The chapter was entitled as a desire tree for devotional service. So he focused about the generosity of a wonderful tree that we see in the world. Yeah. So the idea is that a devotee has to be paradukha dukhi. We have to be compassionate to other living entities. By nature, a devotee is meant to be generous. So that generosity is also displayed by living entities like a tree, Maharaj explained. So he has also explained about the different kind of trees that served in Vrindavan. Lord Krishna and Radharani has been served by wonderful trees, even the Gopas, banyan trees, the Kadamba trees, Tamala trees, they all offered their services. One thing that really touched me is when Maharaj was talking about big things do not change, but actually, infectious things can actually change people's heart, positively or negatively. You mentioned about the COVID, for instance, yeah? COVID can be very infectious. But sometimes when we give pure love of God for living entities, they are touched. We get to the soul, we get to their heart, and their whole life has changed. Isn't it that sometimes people's life has changed by seeing a devotee, by hearing from a devotee once, by touching a book, by observing the way the devotees behave, people change. So preaching is not always philosophically. Preaching is also by example. Srila Prabhupada, just by the way he behaved, he has actually converted so many people to take up devotional service. They can see his purity, his divine nature. Apologies. So, but today we've gone back to the chapter 12, the cleansing of the Gunja temple chapter. This has been discussed over the last many weeks. A wonderful chapter. We're coming towards the end of it. Just to do a very, very high-level summary. Actually, the summary of this whole chapter is given by Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Srila Prabhupada extracted the wonderful summary Bhaktivedanta Thakur compiled to summarize Chaitanya Charitamrita. Apart from writing beautiful songs, Bhaktivedanta Thakur also have compiled many books. Not only that, Bhaktivedanta Thakur has been approached by devotees to also give some kind of summarized commentary of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Can you imagine that? So Bhaktivedanta Thakur has summarized many of these chapters from Chaitanya Charitamrita in a way that we can understand it. Because sometimes the Chaitanya Charitamrita can be very advanced, extremely advanced. Some places very difficult for us to understand philosophically. That's why Prabhupada say it's like a postgraduate study, yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So because of that advanced nature, ordinary people like me will find it very difficult to understand the inner meaning of those shlokas. So Bhaktivedanta has gone out of his way to actually compile commentaries. So the commentary given here in this chapter, was Prabhupada pointed out, is from Bhaktivedanta Thakur. So initially there was a description about King Pratapuruda wanting to see Lord Chaitanya. He was very keen to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But unfortunately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected that. Lord Nityananda approached him fire. Can you imagine, out of all people, Lord Nityananda himself had to ask Lord Gaurachandra hesitantly, knowing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be upset. Why are you asking me to go and see a king? I don't need to. So Pratapuruda insisted in so many different ways. He said, okay, and instead of approaching Gauranga Mahaprabhu directly to see me, let me go through the devotees, which is the right approach. So he approached the devotees, the loving devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to approach him and ask him that the king really would like to see you. Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned down that offer. But then eventually there was Ramananda Roy, who is close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is also expert in diplomacy. He knows how to present things to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhu, he thought maybe Ramananda Rai is the person that I can send, to convince Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see me. Ramananda Roy agreed, and he went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually politely, because he has so much respect for Ramananda Roy, such an exalted personality, he specifically said, I am not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I am just an ordinary human being. Although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's Chana Avatar. He come in a hidden form, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here he is saying, because he wants to display his life in a way how a devotee acts and behaves in such a pure way. Here he is teaching all the sannyasis, all the renounced heads, how to be careful not to associate worldly minded people. He knows Pratapuruda is a great devotee, but yet because he's got that title, kingly title, the sannyasi has to be very careful who to associate with. Yeah. So he said, I'm not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but an ordinary human being. Therefore, I must fear public opinion in three ways: with my body, with my mind, and words. Every way a sannyas acts, or every way even a devotee asks, is witnessed by others, isn't it? Because we are meant to teach people by example, through our body, through our mind, through our words. So we have to be extremely careful how to behave physically, how to behave mentally, how to even behave in our speech. You have to be very select and very careful. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us that I'm a sannyasi. I must fear public opinion in three ways: in my body, in my mind, and words. He said, as soon as the general public finds a little fault in the behavior of a sannyasi, they advertise it like a wildfire, which is true. He said, a black spot, ink, cannot be hidden on a white cloth. It's always very prominent. So you have a white dhoti, you have a little black spot, very prominent. It draws people's attention, right? So any misbehavior in a Vaishnav or a sannyasi, any type of misbehavior can actually affect and push people away. We don't want that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, he's using this lila, this pastime with King Prataprudha in such a way that all his devotees can learn from his behavior. So at that time, Nityananda Prabhu said, okay, the best thing we can do is we can cut your dhoti a little bit and take that piece of cloth to Prataprudha. He will be happy. So they cut a little piece of his cloth and they sent it to Prataprudha. Prataprudha was very happy. He said, this is a representation of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He was worshipping that beautiful little cloth. And eventually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was softened and he said, okay, at least I can see his son. Let him send his son. Shishirada Gokulananda Ki, Sitaram Lakshmana Shishigonitai Ki Jai. So he asked for his son to be sent, and Prataprudha sent his son. And at that time, when he saw that his son was dressed in devotional attire, and he actually resembled the form of Krishna to some extent. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately, by seeing him, he remembered Krishna. He was so much in ecstasy, and he gave him such a big hug. And he accepted him as one of his associates. And that way he pleased Prataprudha indirectly. So all this discussion has been going on. And then after that, he went to the Gundicha temple. He decided to clean the Gundicha temple inside and outside. So he organized the whole party. All the associates joined him to clean the Gundicha temple. And after they cleaned the Gundicha temple, then they went outside to the Nrsimha temple. So that brings us to this verse, today's verse. So they finished the Gundicha temple cleaning. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to clean the famous Nrsimha temple just outside Gundicha temple. So that brought us to this verse. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cleansed the Nrsimha temple inside and outside. And finally, he rested a few minutes and then began dancing. Very wonderful. This temple, actually, although I didn't have the chance or the opportunity to go inside, I did go to Gundicha temple, but the Nrsimha temple is not very far. Normally, they don't allow Westerners or outsiders from different countries to come in. And, they only allow locals to go inside. So not many people from outside of India had the opportunity to visit the beautiful deities in this temple. This temple is very old, very, very old. It's been there for many, many years. The deities are even older. The deities are meant to be there from Satya Yuga. Can you imagine that? This same deities, it's said in Skanda Puran. The Skanda Puran mentioned this Nrsimha temple, the Nrsimha deity, to have been seen and worshipped by King Indrajumna. King Indrajumna, he was so much in love with these deities, he built a beautiful temple in Satyuga. Obviously, the temple we have now is, built in Kali Yuga. As you know, these things are always rebuilt. Temples are, they're not going to last 1 million years. So, but in those days in Satyuga, for the same deities, King Indrajumna had built a beautiful temple. But in due course, obviously, the temple has changed. So, King Indrajumna also performed the famous Ashvamedha sacrifice in front of the temple, in front of the deities. Because of that, the deities are known as, they have a special name, Yagya Nrsimha. This is another name for the deities, Yagya Nrsimha. Because of the Yagya, the Ashvamedha Yagya that has been performed in front of the temple. So when you go inside the temple, you will find two Nrsimhadev deities. One is the Ugra Nrsimha. The other one is the Shanta Nrsimha. Who can tell me what Shanta Nrsimha is? Peaceful. Shanta. Shanti. Yeah, famous word Shanti, right? So, just like in Mayapur, we have Ugra Nrsimha. Nrsimhadev with a ferocious form, with the angry form. The natural mood of Nrsimhadev is ferocious, angry, because he could not stand to see his loving devotee Prahlad being tormented. So he came with that anger. Internally, he's actually very angry. That's why it's called Ugra Nrsimha. But behind that, you will also find the Shanta Nrsimha, which is supposed to be very calm and sober. After Prahlad Maharaj calmed Nrsimhadev down, he also displayed a beautiful form where all the demigods have witnessed. Yeah, so that's called the Shanga Nrsimha. So this deity is supposed to have a calming effect when you actually have darshan. It is said that during the Aurangzeb time, when the Muslims were running India for many hundreds of years, there was a very cruel Bengali Muslim called Kalpahada. This person, he was determined to destroy so many temples in Jagannath Puri. And he came in Jagannath Puri and he destroyed so many deities, so many temples. He was very powerful. He was a Bengali Muslim. And eventually he came to the Nrsimhadev temple. And then he saw the Shanta Nrsimha. And it is said that when he saw these deities, he was so besotted, he was so calm, he was so peaceful. From that point on, he stopped destroying the temples and the deities. So this temple where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went is very significant. And the Ugra Nrsimha, Krishna or Nrsimhadev is trying to remind us that we have to remain righteous. If we are demoniac and if we're not righteous, the anger of God will be there in so many different forms. Depending on the degree of our unrighteous nature, He will display His anger. So this is one of the extreme form of anger that God has displayed against the demoniac personality like Hiranyakashipu. Yeah? Because he is so affectionate to his devotees, a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj. So in this verse, there's also another beautiful word that's been used, Bhitara and Bahira. Bhitara and Bahira, inside and outside. This word has been used because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not only he was involved in cleaning the temple inside, he was also involved in cleaning the temple outside as well. Yeah, so that gives us a hint that when we clean ourselves, when we purify ourselves, it shouldn't be just externally, it should be internally as well. External cleanliness is next to godliness, so that cleanliness is applicable both in Bhitara and Bahira as well, inside and outside. There is a beautiful principle that's been given in Srimad Bhagavatam. When we read the 11th canto, 1934, it is said, Shocham japa tapohoma shraddha titanam mat archanam. That word Socham is representing that cleanliness, to be clean, inside and outside. And that verse actually, Lord Krishna is giving 12 principles to Uddhava. 12 principles. One of the main principles, in fact, one of the first principles Krishna mentioned to Uddhava is Socham. That Socham is cleanliness, to be clean. So externally, obviously, a devotee is meant to be clean. In fact, in India, the Brahmins are expected to bathe themselves at least 3 times a day, if not more. Because every time they do seva and worship, every time they go to the washroom, they have to bathe. So, let alone, bathing once a day, yeah? Most people probably in the West, they bathe once a day. But the more we bathe, the better, to keep ourselves clean, especially if we're involved in deity worship in some form. The more we bathe ourselves, the better. So internally, we have to also bathe ourselves. This is our subtle kind of, bad or negative threats we may have. Those need to be cleaned and purified as well. Yeah, internally, we may be in the mode of ignorance, we may be in the mode of passion, so we display some kind of bad habits and bad qualities internally. That need to be cleaned. We cannot use water and soap to clean that. So the only way we could do that, we could clean ourselves through Shravanam and Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. through the 9 process of bhakti and through chanting of Krishna's name constantly. That's why devotees are always bathing their consciousness, their subtle body, by chanting and taking shelter of the holy name. That chanting of Krishna Nam purifies us, and also by performing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, by performing the 9 processes of bhakti, eventually a devotee gets purified. That's the only way we can purify them. Is there any pharmaceutical company who can provide us a medicine to get rid of our deceitful nature, to get rid of our greed, to get rid of our invasive nature, irritable nature? We have so many bad qualities, manipulative nature, overly competitive nature. As a passionate person with Rajagun, we are competitive, right? These things are very subtle. There's no medicine. There's no medicine. But when we take the guidance from Bhagavad Gita, the guidance from Srimad Bhagavatam, when we practice devotion service, when we associate devotees, we get purified from these things eventually. Like Mugrari Dhanta. He had such a tamasic mentality that he wants to kill the animals, but he wants to half kill them, and he sits down and watch to see how they suffer. Isn't that very tamasic, very cruel, very ruthless nature, very tamasic nature? But he only had to associate once was Narada Muni. When he took up devotion service, when he started chanting, then eventually, let alone killing animals, he didn't even want to step on ants. That's how purified he became. So his internal consciousness was fully purified because of his association with Narada Muni. Yeah? So in that way, this devotional process are the way forward in cleansing ourselves internally. So in the purport, there is 2 points Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. Obviously, he mentioned the Nrsimha Chaturdasi festival has been observed in such a grand way. And this whole thing has been mentioned by Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta is no other than Hanumanji. Hanuman himself has incarnated as Murari Gupta to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Leela, in his pastime. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that the Nrsimha Chaturdasi festival has been observed in a grand way, and Murari Gupta has actually described that in such a beautiful way in his book known as Shri Chaitanya Charita. Not Charitamrita, Shri Chaitanya Charita by Murari Gupta. This book is one of the first biography that was compiled about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, way before Chaitanya Bhagavat, way before Chaitanya Charitamrita. One of the original biography by Murari Gupta. So within there, Prabhupada explains that the Nrsimha Chaturdasi festival, how it's been observed in this temple, Nrsimha temple, has been described very, very nicely. Since Srila Prabhupada has prompted us to talk about this wonderful personality, Murari Gupta, it's worth saying a few words about his background. Because it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita that anyone who remembers devotee's name will get love of Krishna very easily. Anyone who glorifies great Vaishnavas, great devotees, will eventually attain love of Godhead. It's very powerful. So sometimes it's nice to get the opportunity to glorify such kind of personalities. I can share one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita with you that says, Parameshwara dasa nitya nadai kasharana Krishna bhakti payatande ye kare smarana. Parameshwar Das is said to be the 5th Gopal of Krishna Leela, completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Nityananda. Anyone who remembers his name, Parameshwara Das, will get love of Krishna very easily. So even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Das Kaviraj is compiling these verses in such a way, drawing our attention that the importance of glorifying devotees, glorifying our acharyas. Sometimes it's even more important than glorifying Krishna himself, because Krishna prefers to see his devotees being glorified than him being glorified. Yeah. So the power is there. That's why we always glorify personalities like Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. These things are very powerful. Parameshwar Das obviously is mentioned here because he was a close associate of Lord Nityananda. He was very much favored by Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda really favored him because he was He was a great personality in consistently serving Nityananda Prabhu and also preaching in every town and village alongside Lord Nityananda. So in that way, he was very dear. So here in this verse it says, Ye kare smarana, anyone who remembers the name of my devotee, Ye kare smarana, Krishna bhakti payatanre. Krishna bhakti payatanre, immediately, whoever glorifies that devotee, he will eventually get love, pure love for Lord Krishna. Actually, in the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explained about this point very nicely. He is saying, glorifying the Lord and glorifying the Lord's devotee are the same. Or rather, glorifying the devotee is more important than glorifying the Lord directly. This is Prabhupada saying. Narottama Das Thakur explains this fact also. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Keva. Narottama is saying one cannot be liberated from material contamination without sincerely serving a devotee of Krishna. Wow, that's big, isn't it? If we remain, a Kanishta Adhikari, always focusing on Krishna, 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 and neglect devotees, this is what happens. We cannot be liberated from material contamination. We're still in Kanishta, in a very neophyte stage. It's so important to adore devotees. It's so important to associate with devotees. It's so important to hear from devotees. Yeah, to touch Krishna's heart, we have to really win over the devotee's heart. Otherwise, Krishna is too far away. Too far away. That's why Narottama is saying one cannot be liberated from material contamination without sincerely serving a devotee of Krishna. One has to take shelter. When we take shelter of a devotee of Krishna, automatically we've taken shelter of under the care of Lord Krishna. So Murari Gupta, this personality is renowned because even his name is renowned, because Murari Gupta. Gupta, the word Gupta means hidden. When something is hidden, it's Gupta. Murari is actually, although it's representing Krishna's name, it's directly actually representing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Murari Gupta has hidden Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the core of his heart. Hence he is known as Murari Gupta. He has Chaitanya from a young days. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always in the core of his heart. He was the closest associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Murari Gupta spent the largest number of days and weeks and months with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was very young. Their childhood pastime was spent together. Murari was practically inseparable from Lord Chaitanya. So they come from same village as well. Their parents, like Jagannath Mishra, used to live in a place called Srihata. So Murari Gupta used to live in Srihata as well. And at one point, Jagannath Mishra decided to come to Navadvip. So also, the parents and the family of Murari Gupta also came to Navadvip. So Murari Gupta was living maybe less than half a kilometer away from Jagannath Mishra's house, not very far. So there was a school there in Navadvip called the Ganga Das Pandit School. This is a famous school in those days. So from a young days, Nimai and Murari Gupta, they were going to the school, the Ganga Das Pandit School. So in that school, when they were studying, Murari was the eldest. He was much older. He was much more mature, but he appeared to be much more than Nimai. Nimai was much younger. But yet, they used to have argument, debate all the time, especially in the school. But Murari Gupta was always defeated. So although he was always defeated by Nimai, he never let go of his affection to him. He was still affectionate to him. Because of that, their affection was very, very strong. But it was said that sometimes they used to argue. When they argue, they start fighting as well. They start pushing each other. They push each other from their school all the way to Ganga. And they push each other so much on the bank of the Ganga bank becomes extremely muddy. Because of that, the ladies used to get frustrated because they find it difficult to take their pot and take some water because they have to go through all this mud. And even the Brahmins used to be upset with them because the Brahmins used to bathe in Ganga. When they come out, there's so much mud because Murari Gupta and Nimai were pushing each other so much on the bank. Yeah. So those kind of descriptions been captured by Murari Gupta in the biography that he compiled about Nimai in his book. So he's also described in Gaura Ganesha Dipika to be none other than Hanuman. Hanuman has descended in the form of Murari Gupta. It's so nice that Angada, the associates of Lord Ramachandra from those days have also taken birth in Kali Yuga to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is a verse called Murari Gupta Hanuman Angada Shri Purandara Yashri Sugriva Namasid Govindana Eva Saha. This is from Gaura Ganesha Dipika. It is said Murari Gupta was Hanuman on Ramachandra's Leela. Purandara was Angada. Angada had come as well to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Govindananda was Sugriva. Even Sugriva had come as well to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Murari Gupta's worshipable deity by nature, since he's been the incarnation of Hanuman, is Lord Ramachandra, Sita and Ram. So sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to tease him. He used to tease him that, you should worship Brajendra Nandan. You should worship Lord Krishna. And Murari used to feel a little bit bad in the sense that he wants to listen to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but at the same time he cannot let go because he has the eternal connection with Lord Ramachandra. And that's his Ishta Devata. You worship Lord Ram. So he was very disturbed, and at home he was thinking about it, and he decided, I think the best thing for me to do is to kill myself. I cannot be here or there. I should kill myself. And eventually, he didn't kill himself, but he decided to go and consult Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he explained to him the situation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy with him, because he was only testing his faith, how strong his faith is in worshipping Ramachandra. Not that he wants him to give up worshipping Lord Ramachandra. At the end of the day, there's no difference between Ramachandra and Gaurasundar and Krishna. They're all the same personality. So when Murari Gupta approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started telling him like this. He said, listen, my dear Murari, you have love for me, I know that. So just serve the Parabrahman appearing in the human form, having the color of the Indra Nila gem, blue sapphire. He stands most attractively in threefold bending form, carrying a flute in his hand. Worship Shrimati Radharani, the golden complexion, daughter of King Vrishabhanu. She is the original energy of the Lord, and her effulgence defeats the color of Gaurachana, bright yellow. Engage yourself in the service of the gopis, and you will attain the son of Nanda and throne resting in Chintamani Bhumi, wish-fulfilling jewel, Vrindavandam. He sits on a jeweled throne, resting upon a gem-studded platform, surrounded by Kalpavriksha trees. By his inconceivable potency, Kamadhenu, Surabhi cows, wander everywhere, fulfilling all desires. His glittering bodily effulgence is known as formless Brahman. You should know that this is a sweet truth about Krishna. What a powerful description Lord Gauranga is mentioning to Murari Gupta. So Murari heard all that and he was very happy, but at the same time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged him to maintain his internal connection by encouraging him to continue worshipping Lord Ramachandra, but at the same time he wanted him to understand that he himself is no other than Lord Ramachandra. That's when he displayed the beautiful form of Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and he showed him his own form as well in his Mahaprakash. This Mahaprakash, as you know, is the exhibition of divinity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his divine forms for different specific personalities of devotees in different times. The Varaha form has been displayed, the Nrsimha form has been displayed, Satbhuj form, you've seen the Satbhuj here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displaying he is the same Ramachandra, he is the same Krishna, he is the same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with 6 arms. So this time he also displayed the form of Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and Murari Gupta can see his own form when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displaying. And he realized, yes, I'm actually worshipping the same personality, the same Krishna, the same Ram. But yet, he has that eternal connection with Ramachandra. He was blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue to bless him. Murari Gupta is also one of the leaders of the branches. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is represented as a tree. He is also the gardener. He is a tree. But from that tree comes so many different kind of branches. So Krishnadas Kaviraj has compiled something in the region of 70 different kind of branches coming out of this tree. And each one of them are a group of devotees who are assisting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The very first one is Shivas. We all know that Shivas Hangam, Shivas used to have so many associates to perform the daily kirtan. Yeah, so that's the very first branch of the Chaitanya tree. So the Murari Gupta tree is the 21st branch. Among those 70 different branches, the 21st branch is considered to be the 21st branch. So within these branches, there are so many different kind of devotees, and each devotees have a specific task. Some of them are performing kirtan, some of them are preparing prasadam, some of them are messengers for Lord Chaitanya, some of them are the servants for Lord Chaitanya, some of them prepare the dwelling place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a sannyas was traveling constantly. So somebody has to make arrangement for him to stay somewhere. So that kind of service is also delivered for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some of them are dedicated and arranging a transportation when he goes to Navadvip, when he goes to Jagannath Puri. So in that way, these branches contain selected devotees who perform specific duty for serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the last Leela I can mention about Murari Gupta is his beautiful message to his devotees about Vaishnava etiquette. At one point, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were sitting, and the devotees were gathering. Murari Gupta came. When Murari Gupta came, he came and directly paid obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He waited for him, and when he woke up, he said, "You violated the Vaishnava etiquette." And Murari was shocked. He said, "I'm only paying respect and pranam to you, Gaurasundar." And Gauranga Mahaprabhu said, "No, you see my elder Nityananda sitting next to me. You should have offered respect to him first and then respect to me afterwards." So in that way he established this beautiful Vaishnava etiquette. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to recognize that respect should be given to the elders first. If we see the elders, we don't pay respect to the younger ones, neglecting or ignoring the elder ones. Yeah. So in that way he established that beautiful etiquette, the Vaishnava etiquette. And the next day, again Gauranga Mahaprabhu was observing him. Murari Gupta came, pay obeisances to Lord Nityananda, Haribo. And then after that he paid obeisances to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So Murari Gupta never begged any money, or he never looked for any charity. He was self-sufficient because he comes from a dynasty of Ayurvedic physicians. He was an Ayurvedic physician. He was expert. In fact, at one point, when Shivananda Sen has given so much prasad to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with a lot of ghee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt very uneasy. So he went and he took service for Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, I feel very uneasy. You're a physician, Ayurvedic physician, please give me something to cure me. And Murari Gupta laughed and he gave him something to drink. He drank that. Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Perfect, I feel very good now." So in that way he's engaging his devotees like Murari Gupta. So it's important to glorify these personalities. Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of nectar. I don't want to go over my time. I want to give you opportunity for anyone to add one or two beautiful comments on this wonderful verse. If anyone has any questions, you're welcome to ask as well. So I think I should end now, quarter to 9. Hare Krishna, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. Anyone has any additional comments or questions? Shivas Prabhu, beautiful.
Well, there was another pastime where Murari Gupta was going to leave the body before Lord Chaitanya left, you know.
Yes, yes.
He was thinking that I can't bear to be in separation of Lord Chaitanya.
Mm.
So he got some carpenter to carve a knife, isn't it?
Yes.
And he hid the knife somewhere. And Lord Chaitanya came to him and said, "Where is that knife?" Isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Mm-hmm.
Then he told Murari Gupta that don't do something like that because it will not go well with my pastimes.
Mm. Mm.
You leave your body before I leave my body.
Mm.
People will not take it nicely. You follow my instructions.
Correct.
Like that.
Wonderful. That's a good point, yeah. He also made him realize about the identity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because how would Chaitanya Mahaprabhu know unless he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead? Murari Gupta has hidden this knife. He's the only one who knows about it. Yeah. So sometimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gives his devotees the opportunity to understand his identity so that they don't misunderstand him. And yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Srivas Prabhu. Any other points or questions? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Here it's in the Sri Krishna Namastikam. Is that by Bhaktivedanta at all?
Sri Krishna Namastikam. The one we talked about is Sri Chaitanya Charita.
Yeah, but it could be Krishna Kalarajmat.
Okay.
It says here, it's verses 7 and 8. It says, "O my dear holy name, O beloved identical form of Krishna in sound, out of your causeless mercy, the devotees take shelter of your lotus feet, and constantly chanting you is even saved from destruction to offences against the holy name. You are manifest as the supreme personal form of the concentrated transcendental ecstasy, and are personally the form of transcendental happiness, and a daily festival in the residence of Gokul. You are full of transcendental glory and eternal bliss, which you manifest through nectarian loving exchanges with your devotees. Therefore, my dear holy name of Krishna, I offer you again my respectful obeisances at your lotus feet." That's very beautiful.
Wonderful description. The glories of the holy name. Yeah. Thank you for always sharing these things with us. I think we can end here. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hare Hare Bol. to here. This room is open.
What he eats it every day.